Greetings, I'm Matti Mali, aka Hedonistic Actor, and we continue with the worst movies I've ever seen list, with today the numbers 80 to 71. My cold has been getting away, but my voice is still quite down, so bear with me. Okay, number 8, G.I. Jane. The movie's director Ridley Scott, I consider him to be one of my key influences, but even I have to admit that he's kind of a hit and miss. There's his absolute classics like Alien, Blade Runner, etc, etc. And then there's also some kind of uninspired stuff like White Squall, which was really boring, and today's movie, which was stupid. G.I. Jane is about this woman who works in an army, played by Demi Moore in some non-subtle way, and it has been secretly made a deal that one senator thinks that there's been lack of gender neutrality in the army, and the Demi Moore character is put to prove that girls can be as good as boys in combat. And then there's this sadistic her sadistic army superior, played by Viggo Mortensen, who is kind of a highlight of this movie. Demi Moore, not so much. Her acting abilities aren't at her best. Plus the movie has this over-patriotism, which always can be campy when in its most non-bad way, and it's kind of the movie is kind of an in-your-face and annoying in that way, and it has some this kind of over-dramaticism and pathos, which was evident in the previous Ridley Scott's previous director of White Squall, and here it's ever more present. Yeah, I don't remember much else, but I just felt it was stupid in some sort of way. Okay, let's just go to the 79, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. Yeah, quite a big jump from the kids movie again, and it's one of those Disney sequels, although this is actually a midquel, because it happens during the events of the first Beauty and the Beast movie, which, by the way, is an uber classic and one of the greatest films I've ever seen. Its midquel is here. Yeah, yeah. And once again, I have to say that I have only seen the Finnish dubbing, and which once again was right. And apparently in the English one, the old cast has pretty much returned because they have nothing better to do. And there's Tim Curry plays the villain, the Ford, who is this when he was a human, he was an organ player. So when the fairy who cursed the beast to be the beast, he transformed into an organ, and the whole movie premise is kind of stupid, because Ford thinks that he is more powerful in his enchanted form, but he's a big gigantic organ. He can barely move anywhere. actually, yeah, he can move to anywhere at all. How he could have more power? And of course the Beast and Belle, who are the romantic pair, they have this kind of... In this movie they have this on-again, off-again relationship, which is kind of stupid because in the original film there was this significant event where each one of them started to get that... started to see each other as a not so bad or vain of a person as they thought they were, and kind of mellowed their harsh relationship. And yeah, it really doesn't make sense here because Forters can really easily manipulate Beast and Belle against each other. I should have thought that they would gain trust at that point. It's of course Christmas Eve, those happy joy, 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 joy. Yeah. And speaking of happy joy, joy, we have a very messy comedy, Casino Royale, the 1967 version as the next one. Yeah, I promise this is the worst Bond-related thing I've ever seen. There will be no more Bonds in here. And Casino Royale, there's of course the more famous 2006 version, which was essentially a reboot for the James Bond franchise, and there was some rights. There was some schism about the rights of the Bond books, and apparently the people who had the rights to the first Casino Royale made this spoof film. I wonder, it may be one of the first spy spoofs to ever be made, I'm not sure, but yeah, the comedy is just so messy. Well, it's about this James Bond, who is in this movie played by David Niven. He actually, I think he was hunted by Spectre, and he chose out for different kind of agents and placed them with the name Bond, so people would have much harder time to find the real deal. One of the most notable ones are Peter Sellers, who it's evident from the start that he really wants this to be a legitimate movie, but he plays it quite straight, and the movie comedic timing is all over the place, and it's yeah, many of them are in the denial that this will be those serious Bonds where there's action and drama and stuff. One of those being the Peter Sellers, and the other one is the one who plays Le Chiffre in this version, Orson Welles, who is naturally always his own charismatic self, but yeah, then there's Woody Allen for some reason. He's one of the Bonds, but there's a twist to it, and the movie just throws everything at you. There are these crazy nuns and a UFO and all kinds of... and the film is also messily structured, which is partly because Peter Sellers left in the midst of filming. And it can be also explained that there's, 7 directors in this whole debacle. And, yeah, messy comedy, and it tries way too hard. And speaking of trying way too hard, pirates. Yeah, Pirates is this, pirate movie directed by Roman Polanski and is often considered to be the worst film he has ever directed. It stars Walter Matthau. I don't know. Walter Matthau in as this pirate who is whose ship has been wrecked, and he is with his second in command, some French guy played by Chris Campion. The other, Chris Campion, and they get on a boat and they are take this ship to their control, and they have all kind of various adventures, like trying to steal gold from this Spanish guy, and there's this girl who the second in command is really attracted to, and once again this is one of those cases where it starts to be it's a messy comedy in a sense that while there is a comedic tone, and then there's this Polanski style mean-spiritedness that it's tonally inconsistent. There's it tries to be loud and becomes obnoxious in its when it's trying to reach for comedy, but then there's this also really gruesome deaths, and of course there's the Polanski style mean-spirited twist ending, and yeah. Number 76, Histories Made at Night. This movie interested me because it has it has an international cast. The director, Ilkka Järvilaturi, is a Finnish one, so I thought it would make for a good material for the Tales from the North series, and I may look at that as some special videos because it is so fascinating. It's utterly bizarre badness. But it has some well-made scenes which prevent it from going downer. But anyway, the movie is about this American agent played by Bill Pullman, and then there's this Russian agent played by French actress Irene Jacob, and they are in love with each other or something. I couldn't tell from the very messy dialogue which tries to be quirky. And yeah, this is supposed to be comedy, but like with Pirates, it really can't decide does it wants to be a comedy or spy thriller, because there's once again gruesome deaths, and the plot is all over the place. At least for half of the movie I have no idea who does what and why. They have this some kind of tape, some kind of porn tape, where apparently there's some kind of secret code hidden in there, but I don't know. And the main villain, who is the female agent's employee, is played by Udo Kier, whose presence is always hilarious, whenever it's what meant to be or not. Very charismatic, kind of a... Yeah, it's a mess of a movie. Okay, number 75, Dragonlance, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. This fantasy movie easily has perhaps actually one of the worst animation I've ever seen. The hand-drawn portions have awkward movements and seem clunky, and especially jarring is when they put some CGI characters in there. All the dragon characters who are in this movie are made in CGI, and it really sticks out. At least in something like Anastasia, which was made 10 years before this, the 2D plus 3D animation blend made it stylish and unique looking. But here it just makes it sloppy. And the plot isn't that better. There's some cliched fantasy characters and they are going to search for the true crystal which can restore faith in gods or something, but this dragon goddess wants to stop them, and it just goes from cliche to cliche to cliche to cliche. It's evident most of the budget went to hire some big names like Kiefer Sutherland. He plays this wisecracking wizard, who I think, while being part of the main adventuring group, doesn't do anything plot relevant. I don't remember. Yeah, when I saw this movie in the rental store, I just knew I had to see it, because this had to be either really awesome or really bad, but disappointingly it's not bad enough to make it a kind of a cringe-worthy watching. Yeah. Number 74, Jumper. Okay, Jumper is about this guy played by Hayden Christensen, you know, the Anakin Skywalker from those Star Wars prequels, and he has the ability to teleport from place to place, to jump, if you will. This power is, of course, never explained where it came from. But I think there's some hint that it may be religion-based, because the enemies in this movie, what was their names? I don't remember the organization's name, but anyway, their goal is to kill all the jumpers, because according to them, only God is allowed to be in many places at the same time. Kind of vain and selfish if you really think about that, but yeah. They are extremists, and the main villain, their leader, is played by Samuel L. Jackson. And as far as I remember from it, he makes a rather tired performance. Yeah, of course, so does Christensen, who I haven't seen in any production where he would make a performance more than just a few facelifts. Yeah, I don't think he really fits as an Anakin. Where he fits here, but that's because the character itself is quite lackluster, and he also, of course, has a girlfriend who I think didn't have any personality. One of the good things in that movie was the Christensen character's rival, who was played by Jane Bell. Yeah, he was the most interesting character in the whole bunch, and he made the most decent performance in the movie. Yeah, the Jumper style kind of reminds of one other stupid superhero kind of movie, Wanted, which used to be in this list, but since then it's a Wars movie, so it was kicked out. But at least that movie's action scenes are just so over the top, it makes it enjoyable, but in Jumper the action is kind of tired, and being the life of the Jumper doesn't... it has lots of illogicalities also. Okay. Jumper may have had its own illogicality, but that's nothing compared to two next movies on the list, which are these disaster films. And in disaster films, it's always, especially the recent one, it's been always logic has to make away from flashy, explosive stuff because there's this old saying that once death is a tragic, million deaths are static, and billion deaths is the best damn entertainment ever made. But you know, I want some logic from the movies I watch, and the first one of these is The Core, where the gist is that the Earth's core is starting to extinguish, so a team of scientists and NASA guys and stuff are sent to reignite it and prevent the collapse of the world. The cast includes Aaron Eckhart and Hilary Swank. Yeah, there are, of course, the cliched characters, and there's cliched characters, and then there are annoying characters like the DJ Qualblade hacker, who is all nerdy and stuff, but that's not charming kind of nerdiness. It's kind of off-putting nerdiness. And I'm not 100% sure how scientifically accurate this journey to the center of the Earth is, but I highly doubt this. It's just I can't even think anything to say, anything groundbreaking to say about it. It's just so much erased from my memory. But I think I remember better the number 72 on the list, Day After Tomorrow. My god, was that a stupid... Well, I know more well, there was the thing that parts of the Earth is freezing. It's something to do with climate change and greenhouse effect, but yeah, the freezing effect doesn't really work as the film has described it. The freezing is kind of a movie monster that goes slowly from place to place, but in actuality freezing happens immediately. And well, there's this, of course, this cliche characters this kind of disaster movies usually has. There's Dennis Quaid as the estranged professor who is trying to tell the no, see what is happening, but nobody listens to him because apparently his credentials mean nothing or something, and he has a estranged son played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Why you have to be in this? He's such a good actor. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. He has gone to New York to some spelling competition, and of course then the climate change strikes and water starts to rise, and then it suddenly freezes, and Dennis Quaid goes to save his son. There's of course lots of casualties, as usually in these kind of movies are. As there are, and if there's of course non-subtle, very preachy environmental jargon, because it's because the movie is also aimed against then US President George W. Bush's government, and it has the evil vice president who I think was played by Ian Holm, or was I remembering some different movie? But yeah, I know I'm all for environment, preserving the environment and stuff, but be subtle, okay? Everybody hates preaching and finger waving, and because it's always this kind of an attack. Yeah. Okay, I get this video to be a little shorter than the previous one, so let's just go to the 71 Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. The first Charlie's Angel movie, which was also directed by McG, the director of Terminator Salvation, which I thought was a good movie, but that's another story. Charlie's Angels was a harmless, fun action romp. Nothing really deep, but yeah, it was a good time waster. And in the second one, it feels like they really didn't understand what worked in the first one and just added more bizarre twists, more senseless action, which is physically impossible, but yeah, it's about these three female agents called the Angels, played by Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu, and they are employed by this guy called Charlie, who is never seen. And there's someone chasing people who saw some guy murdered. Are chasing witnesses, and there's this psychopath played by, who was Justin Theroux, who at the time I thought was Johnny Knoxville for some reason. And there's the Crispin Glover-played creepy silent assassin who was in the previous movie, and this one he has an unhealthy obsession to one of the angels, and in the first movie this Crispin Glover played character was rather funny, but once again in this movie, like with any other aspect, it just tries too hard. Yeah, there's also, in this movie there's also Demi Moore as this older agent who had some feeling towards Charlie or something, and she gets kind of crazy about it. Don't know. Yeah, I understand the movies I have shown in this vlog so far haven't been really that bad, rather than bad. But just wait for the next vlog where we finally finish with the movies that I gave 4 out of 10 at Internet Movie Database, and move to the ones that got 3 out of 10, and that's where the true badness begins. Okay, thanks for your time.